there are three types of transfer of heat. The first one is conduction, second one is convection, and third one is radiation. So we had to study the three: conduction, convection and radiation. So the first one is conduction. We can study about conduction. Now to study the conduction, here I have drawn a candle is here, a conductor is here. So first you have to understand what is a conductor. Conductor means which can transfer those substances which can transfer heat through it is known as conductor. For example, in kitchen, some utensils when we keep it on stove, we have to hold it with cloth or some holder. We have to use it because otherwise our hand will burn, because that substance can transfer heat through it. Example, steel, aluminium, iron, copper wire, etc. These utensils, because they can transfer heat through it, and those substances that can transfer heat through it is known as conductor. And here I kept a conductor, and I kept a candle here, and heat began to transfer from this end. This is the hot end. Definitely it will be hot because of the candle flame. And the transfer of heat from hot end to the cold end of the conductor is known as conduction. You understand? The transfer of heat from hot end of the object to cold end of the conductor is known as conduction. So you have to remember that. And also you have to understand what is an insulator. Insulators are poor conductors of heat energy, that they cannot conduct electricity or heat. Example, wood, paper, that is plastic, etc. So poor conductors are insulators. I think all of you understand about insulators, conductors, conduction, etc. Next we can study about convection. The next one is convection. So when we are studying about convection, we have to understand one thing, that before we are going to learn this, to understand one point. Hot air, when air becomes hot, it always rises up and it is replaced by cold air. This you have to understand this point before studying about the convection. Here I kept a beaker. It consists of full of water and flame is given. Heat is transferring from this flame to beaker, and the water starts to boil. And when it starts to boil, the hot water below the container becomes hot first. The water below the container becomes hot first. And what will happen to this hot water? What is happening to exactly hot air? It always rises up. Like that way, water also rises up. Water here rises up. And this water molecules rise up. Instead of that, it is replaced by cold water. From side, cold water will come, and this continues till the whole water becomes heated up. Do you understand? So the transfer of heat through liquids, that is water, and gases. In gas also it can be possible. The transfer of heat through liquids and gases is known as convection. So I am going to ask you one question. What is the use of ventilations and windows in our home? You have to find out what's the use of windows. Through the windows, cold air will enter in our home. And when it enters our home, it becomes hot. And the hot air will rise up and it will go out through ventilation. This process continues. So this is the use of ventilations and windows in our home. And one more thing also given in your textbook, that is about sea breeze and land breeze. And we have to study what is sea breeze and what is land breeze. And the live session we can discuss about sea breeze and land breeze. Okay. We already studied what is conduction, what is convection. Conduction needs a particular medium. In the case of the utensils, heat is passed through a particular conductor. It's known as conduction. In the case of the convection, the transfer of heat through liquids and gases, it also needs a particular medium. For the radiation, if there is medium or there is no medium, no problem. Transfer of heat without any medium is known as radiation. That is, here we can find out an example. Sun's heat energy is coming to earth. In between there is vacuum. So, but the heat energy can come to earth by thermal emission of heat energy, and this process is known as radiation. So, more about radiations, more about conduction, convection, and these all things we can study in the live session. So, thank you all of you for listening to the class. We can see a spoon, and heat is transferred through one end of the spoon to other end, and this mode of transfer of heat by molecular contact is known as conduction. In this picture we can see a matchstick burning and the smoke is going up, that is, hot air always rises up. Here the transfer of heat through the density differences, that is, transfer of heat through the molecules of the air, is known as convection. Here it requires a particular medium in order to transfer the heat. Radiation. It is the heat transfer through wave motion, or no material required in order to transfer the heat here, that is, without any medium the transfer of heat occurs. An example, we can say the sun's heat coming to the earth. Without any medium it comes to earth. Imagine you are in a camp and you have to boil water or have to make stew. So direct fire is given under the kettle, and this is transfer of heat is known as conduction. Here its medium is solid, that is through the kettle. The kettle is a good conductor of heat, so the transfer of heat occurs through the kettle. And the convection means hot air is rising up. The transfer of heat through air is known as convection. And about the radiation, we can say that the transfer of heat to the surroundings without a medium from the fire. And this is here radiation, conduction, convection can be seen in one picture.